R2-D2, where are you?
Hello everyone, and welcome to a very special episode of the Parks Academy. Typically we talk about Disney parks and Disney resorts, and we go over everything that we love about them in great detail. But today is May the 4th, also known as Star Wars Day. As you probably already gathered, this is Steven, and I am hosting this by myself. Paige is at work this morning, and I did not want to let this momentous day slip by me without taking a little bit of time to talk about what's going on for Star Wars Day in Disney parks. Now, I'm not there today because I'm not a local in Orlando or Anaheim. So, unfortunately, there's going to be no Star Wars Jubilee for me. But I can be there in spirit in some kind of a way. And I figured, the best way to celebrate in my own way, besides hopefully, watching a few of the movies or checking out some of those good arcs in the Clone Wars later while I'm hanging out throughout the day, would be to talk about what's happening in Disney parks for May the 4th, what you can expect. And also, I figured it would be kind of fun to talk about, some things that might be worth doing. Even if you're not there on May 4th, we can kind of have a little bit of a Star Wars-centric discussion that, if for nothing else, is going to get us in the spirit of this wonderful, great nerd holiday. So I'm going to start off by just kind of going over some of the great and really kind of weird looking in some ways snacks that are available in Disney parks for May the 4th. Now, we just recently put out an article called Star Wars Day Snacks, Everything You Need to Know. And this can be found on the parksacademypod.com under our blog. It's right there on the homepage. You can find it easy. And they have everything from lightsaber churros to an incredible looking Millennium Falcon soft serve sundae that is just, it looks so great. So I'm just going to really quickly go through some of these and share them with you. I'm going to keep this episode pretty bright and tight so it's not over the top long about, Star Wars lore and culture and entertainment. But like I said, they have these lightsaber churros that look really cool. They're a little bit brightly colored for my taste. The promo image has a blue and red lightsaber dueling, and they are sugary colored messes that I think I would have to skip, although they are pretty Instagrammable, which I guess is a word. They also have a jettison juice. It's like a non-alcoholic Minute Maid lemonade and watermelon served with a glow cube. It's it's kind of par for the course for Disney stuff. But the next thing that they announced that just looks absolutely out of control cool is a Darth Maul inspired chocolate creation. This is like a malted milk chocolate mousse dome with raspberry mousse filling, and they have slivered almonds that make up Darth's his horns, and it's topped on top of a it is sitting atop of a chocolate shortbread cookie. It looks so cool, and I would almost be willing to fly out to Disney World just to try this thing. That's how pretty cool it looks. One of the other things that they've shared, and I think this has been around in years past, but a Wookiee cookie, which is essentially a whoopie pie. It's 2 oatmeal cookies with vanilla cream filling, and it has a little chocolate sash on top for Chewbacca's sash. It looks cool. If you're a Wookiee lover, you might like that one. There's also a cosmic rum punch. I believe, this one is alcoholic, and it looks pretty good. It's just like a standard cocktail. And over in Docking Bay 7, they actually have a raspberry cream puff that looks pretty fun. It's very Docking Bay 7. It looks very space age and cool. There's also a extremely chaotic looking funnel cake that has strawberries, space dust, I'm not really sure what that is, and candy rocks on it. It looks like a lot. And speaking of a lot, they also have Interstellar sweet and crunchy popcorn. And I've actually avoided the Galaxy's Edge popcorn for a reason. I'm sure it's good, but I don't really like to get too cute with my popcorn personally. I don't want it to have a lot of flavor in it. Kettle corn's about as far as I'm willing to go. So this one with cookies and cream pieces, sweet and spicy pecans, and caramel corn mixed in there. It looks like a lot, so I think that might have to be a pass for me. And then they have at Emirates Patisserie down in Disney Springs. They have lightsaber eclairs that do look very cool, although some of the flavors are a little strange. Like, for instance, they have an Obi-Wan Kenobi blue matcha and a Darth Vader dark side mousse that has cayenne pepper and cinnamon in it. I'm sure these are really cool, and I'd be willing to try all of them because just from a visual perspective, I mean, they are amazing looking. And I'll be sure to link all of this in show notes for you so you can see it for yourself and not just have to use your imagination to figure out what it is I'm talking about. Again, those can be found down at Disney Springs, and I think they're very limited time. So if you're there like today or tomorrow, you might want to check those out. And then finally, I had mentioned at the Polynesian Village Resort, there is a Star Wars Day dessert. It is the Millennium Falcon Star Wars Soft Serve Sundae. This is exclusively at the Polynesian Village, and it is described as a mouth-watering dessert with galactic gray vanilla soft serve, with chocolate cream cookie crumbles, chocolate drizzle, white chocolate pearl stars, brown asteroid pieces with stardust sparkles, and a Millennium Falcon chocolate accent piece. Everything in here looks really awesome, and of course you can still get, your blue and green milk and whatever you get from Oga's or Ronto Wrap or something like that. But these specifically are some of the special offerings that are being introduced for May the 4th. So some of the other things that I thought were kind of eye-catching that are kind of, maybe interesting and fun to talk about is that there are a handful of new photo opportunities that are going to be, quote, launching in Disney's Hollywood studio. And if I'm not mistaken, some of these are also going to be over in Batu West in Anaheim in Disneyland. They look really cool. There's on the blog, there's actually a hologram of Boba Fett, and there's this little kid like holding the hologram in his hand, smiling oh so lovingly at Boba Fett. He has a little Mickey Mouse t-shirt on. It's very funny. Another one you can get, like a photo you can get to for the magic shot, as they call it, is a training droid blasting lasers at you while you're holding a lightsaber. This one looks pretty sweet too. It's actually kind of similar, I think, to it's almost identically similar to what you'd be doing for lightsaber training in the Galactic Star Cruiser. But of course, this one's actually, from what I can tell in the promotional image, it's right in that little corridor where there's all the droid bits and pieces kind of all stacked up by each other. I think it's like right across the way from the restrooms near the First Order base in Galaxy's Edge. That one looks pretty cool. And then finally, it looks to me like... yeah, this is cool. So it looks to me, too, like there's a couple of other photo opportunities where you can use like a specific lightsaber in an area right across from Oga's where they'll kind of, from what I can tell in the image anyway, it looks like it's a lot darker. And so it kind of has the luminescence of the lightsaber more. I don't know if this picture was taken at night or what, but the specific picture that I'm seeing is of a woman holding Mace Windu's purple lightsaber, and it's pretty cool. The final one that they are promoting on here is when you are, I think, heading toward the Resistance base, kind of in between like the Resistance base and Rise of the Resistance. There's a photo opportunity. Oh, excuse me. It's near the Droid Depot. So kind of sort of that direction anyway. You can find a picture where you can find a space where you can be photographed with Boba Fett's ship, the Slave One. And that's pretty cool. He's like shooting off lasers. It kind of reminds me of a little bit of a Attack of the Clone vibes from when Obi-Wan and Jango were in that fight. And then, of course, they've got all kinds of other opportunities. You can do magic shots with Grogu. You can do magic shots at the Resistance and First Order base. You can get a magic shot with a Porg on your arm, la la la. And they also have like one of those 360 images right in front of Star Tours in Hollywood Studios, with the AT-AT behind you, the indoor forest trees, and then looks like you got the Death Star in the distance, X-Wings, TIE Fighters, and what's really cool about this one specifically is that they have the Star Tours shuttle in there as well, so that's pretty cool. So those are some of the photo opportunities. Again, I mean, you actually have to, I mean, I can't imagine it's any different on May the 4th. but you do have to actually spend the money on the photo pass in order to get these. So just if you are planning on doing this, just be aware of that. I do not know how long these photo opportunities are going to last or how long they're going to be around. So if you do get the chance to do them, definitely jump on them. Over in Anaheim, they just recently overlaid Space Mountain with Hyperspace Mountain. And unlike a lot of the other things happening currently for May the 4th, this is going to be around until July 4th. So Hyperspace Mountain is an extremely cool overlay that's Star Wars themed on Space Mountain in Disneyland in California. And if you're going anytime between now and like early July, you will have a chance to catch this. So do not miss out on that. They have in Tomorrowland in Disneyland also, they have a Boba Fett, like Jabba's throne, where you can get your photo on that. It's pretty cool. And then they also have, for a limited time, it looks like they also have Stormtroopers and K2SO will be available with photo pass photographers in Tomorrowland. That is so cool, because K2SO is probably behind R2-D2, I think my favorite droid in all of Star Wars. He is so cool. I have this is not a joke, I have 4 little K2SO figures in my office that are just kind of I spied all over my bookshelf, and they blend in well. The other thing that I think is really interesting that you can find in Disneyland Park 2, and this is also in in Disney Hollywood Studios, the milk stand is going to be serving a new milk called Mon Cala Swirl. This is a souvenir Bubba Wamba Family Farms cup, and oh my gosh, this thing is so neat. The milk is neon yellow, so it's actually a stark difference between what you would get with the green milk, but it has the coolest it has the coolest little graphic on it, and it does have, I believe that's Arabish on it, that's surrounding the character. So that's really cool. And also, let's see, there's a parfait of Mustafar that's going to be available at Galactic Grill in Tomorrowland. And there's going to be a lot of new droid builds and lightsaber hilts available at Galaxy, it's the Star Wars Trading Post in downtown Disney and Disney Springs. And also, I'm pretty sure too that they're going to have some other photo ops, including a Star Wars sand sculpture. It's kind of fun. And of course, if you go to the Lego store, they have way more stuff there, including Jabba's throne room and all that kind of cool stuff. So that's a lot of what's happening right now in Disney parks for May the 4th. I'm sure that as you get there, there's a lot of other surprise moments. So, for instance, I know that last year they had a huge, in Hollywood Studios, there was a huge meetup with just Star Wars nerds everywhere with their lightsabers, and they all got together and took photos and stuff like that near the Millennium Falcon in Batuu. That looked really fun. And, of course, I would love to do something like that, but I'm planning to get there for May 4th just feels like it'd be a little more difficult. So probably not going to happen in the next year or so, but maybe one of these days I'll get down there for it. If you are on the Galactic Star Cruiser this weekend, or this week rather, that is so cool. And I'm proud of you for getting those reservations. I checked about a month ago and it was flat sold out for today. I'm sure there's a lot of cool stuff going on the Star Cruiser, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what some of those things are. The final thing that I'll just wrap this up with, because like I said, I want to keep this episode kind of short, is that we published a blog on April 26th, and we called it 8 Ways to Celebrate May the 4th in Disney Parks. Go ahead and check that out if you get a chance. This is not exclusive to May the 4th, although it would be extra special if it was. But we just give a couple of fun ideas of things that you can do when you are in the parks, and if you really want to make the most out of your Star Wars experience, or your immersive Star Wars experience, I guess. It's everything from building a lightsaber at Savi's to hanging out and ordering drinks at Oga's Cantina, buying yourself that souvenir that may be a little bit out of reach, but that you've been saving up for. And, of course, maybe getting in line for Star Tours over and over and over and over and over again, because I have a suspicion it's going to be a lot shorter of a line than Rise or Millennium Falcon. So that's about it. I mean, I didn't really want to I didn't really have a whole lot to say beyond just, sharing some of the updated news and talking about what's happening in Disney parks for May the 4th. We would love to hear about what your experience is. So if you want to write to us or message us or send us something on the Parks Academy on Instagram, we would love to hear from you. You can also find us on Patreon at the Parks Academy Pod. And, we have a couple different tiers, and we're sharing bonus content and early releases and a little community building, stuff like that. And then finally, we're on the parksacademypod.com, where we are releasing, oftentimes it's daily, but multiple times a week, we're offering new blogs and content, and tips and tricks and stuff like that about Disney parks. So thank you so much for listening. We hope that if you are in Disney today, that you are having a great May the 4th. And if you are not, you can still have a great time at home. Just, pretend you're there. And, I don't know, rewatch The Mandalorian or watch The Phantom Menace and pretend it never happened. But until we see you next time, I have been Steven. Thank you so much for listening. And typically I would say we'll catch you next time. But in this instance, may the Force be with you.